back to Choosing Recovery. I am Scott A.
What? It's the thing that I start.
And this is Livy.
Hi.
And we are doing an interview with our buddy Onyx.
And it's a very inspiring story, so go ahead and check that out. Please share, like, follow, subscribe, do all those things for the YouTube algorithm. And so we can help spread the message of recovery around the world.
Could be saving a life today. That's all that matters. You know,
Peace.
helping one person. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Drug of choice or multiple drugs of use, if you did?
My main drugs of choice were heroin, which usually involves fentanyl. I also had some meth was pretty close as well to those as well.
Okay.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about a lot of people end up using multiple drugs throughout their active addiction.
Garbage heads. I was the same way, brother.
So, what age did you start using?
So I started using pretty much any substances when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I started getting like smoking marijuana with my sister and my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Then kind of just progressed. It went from weed and drinking and pills and ultimately pretty much I guess you could say up to the top, which heroin and meth. So I started using heroin and meth when I was 19.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was the same way, definitely. It's crazy to see how everyone's stories kind of almost lay out the same. The two girls that we did, they started at 12 too. I think it's literally that like age group where everyone gets that foot out the door and start. What have you used for?
The heroin and meth I used for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was 13, I mean, that's 7, 8, 9, that's 9 years.
Who did your addiction affect?
My addiction affected, I'd say, me the most, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, I was worn down, lost weight. My moods would heal very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't eat. But physically, it hurt me. Emotionally, mentally, it hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
If we're all addicts, you just get that depression, kind of like a film over your face, your eyes, and you see gray, and everything's just so dark, and nothing's pleasant. So my depression and stuff also, went up with that as well. But after me, obviously affected me the most, but my family was definitely close second.
Yeah.
Worried. They'd always be worried. They couldn't get sleep at night. They couldn't do their jobs as well.
Mm.
It affected me quite a bit.
Yeah. And what led you to get clean?
What led me to get clean is definitely one, my environment. As you'll find out, like my dad's environment was very not healthy to be in. So once I was able to get out of there, that was a big change right there. And then just for hope for something better, I didn't want to. When you're drugs, it's like groundhog stage, so
Yeah.
don't go forward in life at all.
Yeah.
Either you're going backwards or you're staying still. I just wanted to go forward. So.
And awesome. What are you doing today to stay clean? What do you do to stay clean?
I have positive people around me.
Good.
That's one of the biggest things, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You got even just one positive person cheering you on, like that's worth it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great answer.
That's awesome.
Great answer, man. We like hearing that. We truly believe that having a support network is it's huge. It just puts so many barriers between you and your addiction. you know, and your outlets to be able to reach out to people. It's huge. We talk about it so much in our videos. So
Definitely. I know that for me, like, it was hard for me to believe in myself. And I remember, like, even a year into it, like, my stepdad, he goes, I don't even think about, like, I don't worry about you anymore. It seems like so far away, you know, and it's only a year, and I'm, like, still nuts in the head, you know, and everything. And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, that's an incredible feeling, is to finally get to that point. It really is. And then I feel like it was easier for me to believe in myself after that, because I never thought about it until he said it. And then I was like, wow, wait, yeah, I guess so.
So what's your biggest accomplishment in recovery so far?
My biggest accomplishment is the fact that I can actually feel happy. The fact that I can have genuine laughter, you know, not just forcing it. It's just like, and I haven't laughed this hard. I haven't just smiled this great in how many years, and it's a great feeling to have back again.
It is. That makes me really happy to hear.
That makes me so happy. Oh my goodness, I think this is amazing. I never knew how much that these videos would help me. Wow. Like, there's nothing like laughing though. Like that. Like, it's like the world stops though. Like, I remember.
Man, you know, I speak for myself though, like having that feeling back, it's unbelievable.
And going so long without it. You know, I think that we just, like you said, it's almost that like gray zone that we get stuck in. And then one day we finally get to, like, it's so good to get your emotions back. Absolutely.
If you could say something to someone that's still in active addiction, what would you say?
I would say two things. One, like, if you have just a little bit of hope deep inside you, you know, hold on to that if you can. Hold on to it as long as you can. Because someday you're going to be pulling that out.
Yeah.
You know, so just keep it within you, I guess, if you're still kind of using it. Not quite there, but just hold on to it. The other thing is kind of what I said earlier, you know, just finding somebody. I know it helped me. Like, even while I was in active addiction, I would try to find one of my other friends that was actively using. He was actually, you know, he's like, hey, you know, I should try to get clean, do this and that. So maybe it's not that healthy, but you also kind of have to that kind of push me forward. And if you don't have a friend like that, then, you know, your family, anybody, just find somebody that's gonna you know, throw their hand out for you when you need it. So
yeah, like that. And if you could say something to a family member of an addict, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't beat yourself up. Don't. I mean, we can't just not dwell on it. I feel that, but there's a point where I think you need to accept the fact that if you can't help them, you can be there by their side and definitely love them, even if it's from a distance.
Yep.
Because I think, yeah, you just gotta reach that point where you can't control it. And, you know, I think once you kind of accept that fact, I think it'll make it easier. And that's where I kind of heard from my mom. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Alright, so the first time I used a substance, I was 13. And during that, my family was very open to drug use and selling and just kind of that party lifestyle. I looked up to my oldest sister quite a lot, and she was a stripper for a while. So, you know, that involves, you know, drugs, money, you know, like rap music, all this kind of that lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I just got, like, ingrained into my head. Like, I looked up to her and I was like, man, this is fun. Like, you guys are all having so much fun. Like, I would love to be a part of this, right? But I kind of just did kind of what she did. You know, she was smoking weed with her friends. She was having a joint. At that time, there wasn't really anything too big. I struggled a lot with my depression.
Mm.
And suicidal thoughts throughout my whole lifetime. I was about 10 when I started. So I was really at that point where I just wanted to find anything and everything that could just help me not struggle with that. So, while the years went on, I went to a Christian school, so you can't find drugs kind of like this and that. You know, like maybe at public school. So, it was hard for me to get drugs because, I mean, I'm 13, 14. I'm not sure where they go, where they come from, so I was just always using like my dad, just smoking weed, and my sister. Then by the time I was 16, I started finding I had a medical problem, and that's when I got prescribed Valium. So that's kind of started that. I remember too, like they always told me to take 1 or 2. And I was like, the bottle says usually not to do that. And I was like, well, doesn't that mean that you get high? So I was like, well, shit, I'll take 4 or 5 today. And, obviously I was getting high off of it. By the time I was 18, senior year in high school, this is kind of like where I guess you'd say shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
So senior year, my parents divorced, which was a huge kind of impact on me.
Wow.
We were together for about 27 years, so I thought a family was going to be a family forever. So once that happened, I definitely just kind of broke down about it, but in a different way. And that time my dad was also broken down about it, so I would start drinking a lot with him. So much smoking, he was drinking. We would go take a couple shots of liquor before school. I would go to school, take a couple shots or go to school, take a couple shots. And then when it was lunchtime, I would actually walk back home, take more shots, and come back to school. And then at the end of the day, me and my dad would go out and drink at bars, drink at home. It was just like a non-stop kind of drinking. I remember I'd leave class a lot. I would, I was gonna go throw up or, just kind of stay. Through this, I missed so many classes just because I was throwing up because of girls and alcohol. Yeah, definitely hiding bottles from my family. I mean, some of them definitely knew I already had a problem. But I had a lot of it from the rest of my family. Just kind of like me and my dad just getting fucked up. And because 19, I went to go live with my sister, my older sister, Avery. And she, at the time, owned a strip club with her boyfriend. So they wanted me to come to the club with them and do the DJ for, kind of as long as I wanted to. And I thought, that'd be great. That's like the ultimate party, like, that was just another piece that definitely just drove me further into a hole. I mean, it's, strippers, loud music, cocaine, all that stuff kind of just gets rolled into one. So every day we were drinking all night and smoking weed, cocaine, like with nothing. At this point, I just thought it was all fun. I still didn't think it wasn't causing me much problems yet. It was just a lot of fun. The stripper that I really liked, they were kind of just more best buds. When she brought some heroin over, she's like, hey, do you want to do this? And she told me what it was and everything like that. I don't even think I hesitated very much. I was getting so depressed all the time. I was just like, I was kind of already at that careless point. I was just like, screw it. I don't care what it is, I'm going to do it. So I did a few lines with her, just snorting it. And then I think it was a couple weeks after my sister found out I was doing that, so she kicked me out. You know, so she compared drugs. You know, she's like, I can drink all day, smoke weed, and do cocaine, but God forbid touch heroin. You know, that's the end of it. Right? Like, yeah, it's like damn, like they just stepped all these other drugs, and I hit this one who sold it with one of my best friends from earlier, and her husband was a meth dealer. So I mean, she got me into smoking. Like it was nothing, you know. They always tell me, as long as you're doing your stuff, you're good. Like it doesn't matter. So it was interesting. You know, it was also kind of like a party lifestyle. It's up all night, you know, a lot of music, whatever, just having a good time. But by the time I was 20, I moved actually back to my dad's house. That's when I found out I don't know any heroin dealers, I don't know any meth dealers around here. Like, I mean, I started looking because I was pretty much already, you know, addicted to it. Too, after snorting heroin for a couple of months, it was, you know, I was not doing it anymore. I didn't use socially as well. I actually was I was a loner user, so I remember about the end of that year, I was overdosing a lot because I wanted to. Like, I wanted to die. I didn't want to do it with my dad. You know, I just kind of just looked in the mirror and say not the person I wanted to see. I didn't know how to get help. I didn't know how to do any of that. So I was trying to kill myself a lot. And when I went to court for my chapter 51, they got off the papers and said I had 39 overdoses for 50 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because I was trying to kill myself. And amazingly, I think, you know, I did die. Like, I don't know how I got saved like every 39 times, you know? So I used to that's kind of when I found out a little bit about my actions affecting family. You know, I was able to kind of, you know, be out of it, and the juice removed. Like, my sisters were very upset. My mom was very upset. They knew it definitely affected them more. They definitely still had the attitude that, you know, I don't care how it affects me. Like, I love it too much, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. I had a few like possession charges, misdemeanors, nothing too crazy. Then when I was 21 here, I caught a felony case. I was downtown with one of my good friends. We were celebrating my 21st. So me and my friend, we smoked some weed and popped a couple mollies. And we usually just always carry something on us that's good, you know, just in case a fight starts. We was drinking a lot, you know, that's how it goes. And it was bar closed, we were about to go home. And these three guys, pretty bigger guys, like 200 pounds or more, they started making like some racist comments towards my friend. She's black. And they were just being the rudest, perfect people. I was also hanging out with a gay friend and they were making homophobic remarks as well. So I was in, you know, just kind of being that person to stand up to my friends. You know, an altercation started between us. All three of them never touched my friends. They just decided to beat me up. So they, you know, beat me up, threw me in the alley against the dumpster, just all this shit, just, you know, being my ass. My friend was able to actually face them, which got them off of me. And then, for some reason, I stabbed one of the guys 3 times in the back. I don't know where this came from. You know, like, I didn't, like, just think, okay, I'm gonna stab, you know what I mean? It was just, like, automatic. Like, I did it, and I was like, what the fuck? And honestly, it was scared as shit. I mean, you know, I didn't want to go to prison for the rest of my life. Not at all. And I didn't mean it, really. You know, I just I don't know, like I said, I don't know where it came from. I didn't think I would ever do something like that in my life. Seemed like I was 3 days in jail and they locked me out of court. You know, it's my first felony, like my first serious kind of thing. So I set me on probation. Put me on probation for 2 years, and if I complete it, I get it removed off my record. So I'm still working on that, you know, making that go smoothly. I've been trying to be honest with my probation officer.
Good.
They're a long way
Yeah.
to just bullshit, you know. So, and at that point, the court system, in my chapter 55, just decided to kind of let me go. You know, they would usually like put me in the hospital or something. They locked me up, but I did something. After a while, I was just doing it over and over and over again. We just decided, you know, we're just gonna let this kid go because I was doing it. So yeah, so at that point, I think it just got so bad to the point I was sitting in my dad's basement, using, finding ways to use, getting money. It was just that, like Groundhog's Day, you know. It's just all the same shit. As you said earlier in September, I went to detox, and this was the time I wanted to go to detox. So I went to detox, you know, I went through it, just a little hell quiz. Then I got out, you know, I was just like, there's something changed with me, you know. I tried to quit a few times before, something was different this time. People ask me, you know, what's different? I'm like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just, it's different, you know what I mean? I don't know, I feel like a lot of people get that. It's just different. I couldn't be happier, I really couldn't. Just a lot of shit and depression and whatnot. Like I said, that happiness, you know, I can go around feeling confident and happy and just like, yeah, you know, I can do this, I can do anything with my life, you know? And it's just so great. It's just lovely. I go to NA meetings.
Awesome.
You know, I have an ALDA group where we all just a few times a week we sit down and just kind of talk about our struggles and what we need help with.
That's all the best friendships in the world, man, in recovery, because you share a common message, but a different story with people that just know exactly what you've been through in different ways, you know. So it's I'm proud of you, buddy. It is a big feeling, you know. Every day's a new day, you know, and yeah, we're proud of you. So
very proud of you. It takes a lot to come back from those kinds of events too. You know, for me, like, mental health is a big thing. Like, I really have to be like solidly okay with where I'm at, and like it can just he handles me so well sometimes. Like, it blows my mind though. And like in the rooms, like, I learned how to speak for myself and how to voice that, like, I'm not okay right now. And he's like, I know. You know, like, I've been watching you for 3 days go off the way. You know? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But like, it's very important, you know. And I think a lot of people look down on mental health and they're like, oh, why can't you just be better? Well, if I could be better, I would freaking be better, you know. Like, but it's like, it's a big part of my recovery. It's definitely something to be aware of, and that's incredible that that's part of your story.
And you can't be perfect in an imperfect world, you know. You can just do your best, do whatever you can to grow. And what I was saying earlier is just get your support network. Doesn't just have to be people. It could be like journaling or going for hikes or going for walks, going to fun events. Because when you put so many different things, like I said, in between you and your addiction, that you have so many things to go back on before all of a sudden you're like, damn, I'm just gonna go get high, you know, because it's the only thing I know that makes me feel better, because you found so many other things that, you know, make you feel just as good. It is, you know, because we got built-in forgetters, man. We forget all the bad things that our addiction's done to us, and when we have a bad day, we instantly remember what was so good about getting high, and that was getting high, you know. So you're doing amazing, and it makes me happy to see that people out there are actually using their support network. They're reaching out to people. They're, you know, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to show a message of happiness. Don't ever underestimate 40 days of recovery, because you know how hard it is to just get one day clean. You know, I know you know that feeling. It's hard, and people like to underestimate that. You know, because we celebrate our clean time for just be doing something that everybody does, but they don't understand how hard it is to get there.
It's definitely easier to stay sober than to get sober.
Yeah.
And I've heard, and that's the fear that kept me sober for probably over a year and a half, is because I was listening to people in the meetings and they would say, my last relapse was 7 years.
Yeah.
You know, they did it one time and then it was just, they didn't even, it was, you know, and I'm just I will die. I expected to die. That's where my life was going. That's what I wanted, you know? And then all of a sudden it was you get this second chance at life. It's so much easier to stay sober than to get sober again. And